Welcome to the XDOG podcast, where our mission is to help dog owners extend the life of their dogs through nutrition, fitness, and education. I am your host, Stan Smith, CEO of XDOG, and whether you're looking for tips on how to improve your dog's overall health, get valuable training details, or insight on personal growth and business development, then you are in the right place. So march with us as we go heads up against your dog's number one enemy, canine obesity, and let's win this battle together. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the XDOG podcast. And today we have a very special guest. She is fluent in 2 languages, English and sarcasm. She is part of the Incredibullz. She's a real life athlete. She ain't a fake one, like some of y'all Instagram and social media fake athletes out there.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, entrepreneurs. And she is anti-blue. She hates everything blue.
She's a blood.
Based off of speculations of her page, and she goes by the name of Red Kate McLovin. How's it going?
It's going. I don't hate blue, actually.
You don't?
No, but I think people can't remember my name, which is really hard. It's Katie, and they just call me Red.
Yeah, where did red derive from?
I don't know. No idea.
And of course, she has her Super XL bully, Dirty Harry. And how did Dirty Harry come up with that name?
So I produced him. I have his mother, and his grandfather is the Hulk. I'm sure everybody's heard of the world's biggest.
His grandmother?
Grandfather.
Oh,
Did I say mother?
Non-binary.
Mother?
It's a non-binary.
His grandfather is the Hulk. Okay.
Yeah, grandfather is the Hulk.
Right.
And so I used a Hulk son, and I got him. And he lost his hair when he was 2 weeks old.
Okay.
I don't know. It was like some kind of staph infection or something. I was like, oh my God, he's going to die. And then when it came back, it started growing in like speckled. And I was like, you look like a little Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
And it just stuck.
Well, I mean, he's dope, man. I mean, he's pretty massive, as you can see. I'm sure he gets his size from his downline. And so Incredibullz, where did that name come from? How long you guys been around? And, what are some of your goals and your what are you trying to achieve with your kennel?
So we've been around for about 6 years, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's been about 6 years, 6 or 7 years. And it started because I had 2 little pity bulls, as the dog moms call them, pitties and whatever. And their names were Hero and Marvel.
Okay.
That's
and
nice.
Everybody was like, whenever we'd cross the street or something, and I didn't want to do the breeding thing then. Like, I just had 2 cool dogs I wanted to hang out with and do all the things with. And people would like pick up their children and cross the road.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, it's a pit bull. Oh my God, they're dangerous. And I'd be like, these are not pit bulls.
Yeah.
These are Incredibullz.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, what? They're not pit bulls, they're Incredibullz? Oh my God, can we pet them? And so like that's kind of how it started. And then I met up with my, do I need to make this story long? Or
Okay. Shoot away.
So then I met up with my partner Wes in Vegas. And he was like, oh my God, I really like your marketing, blah, blah, blah. We want you to be a part of our kennel name. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. We're Incredibullz and we're not going to change that.
Yeah.
In like my most diva voice. And so he was like, all right, fine. I'll leave my partner and I'll join up with you. And so like that's how the Incredibullz started.
So how many dogs do you guys have in your program?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. So there's four of us partners.
Yeah.
Me, Wes in Vegas, Brittany's here in Texas,
Okay.
and then we have a guy in Holland. And we all have like 4 or 5 dogs each, but then we co-own a lot out, and then we'll show like to our friends or something so that they can have a badass dog, and then we take them to shows and like we do everything like marketing and business.
Did it all originate here in Texas
Yes.
with you?
Yep.
Okay.
With me.
How often do you go out to Vegas?
I've been out there a couple times, but can I yell at him?
Yeah.
Sure.
Harold.
He's fine.
He's
like
like
having
giving
dogs.
me anxiety that he's gonna like knock something over.
Oh, he's cool. We got dogs here all the time, and they're psychopaths.
Oh, good. Well, this is him being a psychopath, actually.
He's really
You
calm.
look right
actually.
at Sabrina when you say psychopath.
Oh, man. Sit down. Sit your balls down.
The reason I was curious about it, like originated in Texas, is just because like I grew up and I did have the same breed of dog, and I just feel like me and Stan joke about this sometimes, but it's just like regionally, it looks like people just make up their own breeds. You know how they're like,
it's a thing, man. Like especially in the bully breeds. Like since I've watched the whole transition from just your American bully to your pockets to the exotics to the XLs to the beef between the American Pit Bull Terrier groups versus bully groups.
But I'm talking about the individuals that are like Tiger Stripe. Or
no,
when they're talking about defects in the coat and stuff, and they're giving it
blue nose gator mouth, red nose gator back. I'm like, what? A what?
Exactly.
A gator back? What? That's an Arkansas.
Dogs or alligators?
Yeah, are the football team?
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that go behind one promoting your kennel and just building a brand in general. Like your social media it seems like your social media is popping. Like what are some of the things that you guys do or you could advise our audience on if they're looking to grow their social media or their brand?
Pictures is the main thing.
And speaking of that, you're a photographer, right? Like I see you taking photos. You live on a farm?
On a ranch, yeah.
You're a country bumpkin.
Country AF.
What does country bumpkin mean to you?
I mean,
define it.
Typically, like you're gonna be like Southern, right? And like you're gonna have the slang or like drawl a little bit, and like just be like down to get dirty, right? Like
maybe riding some horses.
Yeah, some horses, some guns.
Like I seen your CrossFit gym is like you're jumping hay bales and shit.
Yeah, that's actually the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? You guys have a lot of horses?
Yeah, it's like my family's ranch. So my family does the horse thing, and then I got into the dogs, and like we're all involved. I have two sisters, and we're like all involved in the horse world. But yeah, I don't know. Like,
all right, so photos, number one.
Yeah, okay, photos. Back to photos. Yeah. Yeah, so pictures are really important. And like we got a lot of hate when we first started doing this because it's like the whole social media bully world is still fairly new. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. Like I've seen a million new kennels pop up on Instagram in like the last 2-3 years.
Like everybody's a breeder.
Everybody's a breeder, just like everybody's a model, right?
Yeah.
Like
now,
God.
Speaking of everybody's a breeder, do you think that hurts the community or helps the community as far as like when it comes to distinguishing someone who has actually quality dogs versus somebody who is just like, I'm just looking to make some extra money? They don't really understand all the dirty work behind breeding dogs. And that's why I got out of breeding dogs. So I was just like, man, I whelped so many litters. It was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. So much poop. I cannot. Like my friends in the volleyball world, because I kind of keep them separate.
Yeah.
I mean, they know who Harry is, but they don't know how much shit I clean a day.
Yeah.
And they don't know, like, I'm sure sometimes I have poop in my hair. Like, I hope not, but I'm sure it's happened before. Yeah, well, they're gone.
Stepped in shit and got it between your fucking toes.
Okay, well, I don't go out without shoes on. I don't go out with these shoes on either. But what were we talking about?
It's just tips on, or not tips, but basically, like, do you feel like some of these new people are hurting the breed standard?
It's become saturated, right?
Yeah, and what they do is like they'll go spend $7,000 on a really nice dog, or it might not even be a nice dog. It might just have a popular name.
Yeah.
And then go get another one from the same line and breed them together. And they're like, oh yeah, well these are from so-and-so's line. I'm like, okay, but so-and-so didn't breed these dogs.
Yeah.
They're probably not health tested, right?
Well, no, and then they're not going to be the same quality because that wouldn't be their vision for it or whatever.
In addition, just because they come out of the same line doesn't mean they could have similar flaws, and you're not breeding out those flaws when it comes to their structure.
Well, yeah, because you want to be cheap. I mean, everybody wants to be cheap. They want to get the best that they can get with whatever money they have. So they'll go buy 2 last pick puppies and breed them together and say, oh, well, this is such and such line. So, and then they think that because they paid such and such money for it, that they can charge that for the puppies. And I'm just like,
well, here's the deal on that. And I tell this, man, this is one of the biggest things that I've learned. And I got a lot of people talk shit about this when I said this. And I said, look, you shouldn't breed. For example, if I was to get back into the game, I would stack my fucking bread as high as possible. And I would go out and go all in on quality. period. But
Yeah.
they're like, well, you didn't produce your own dog, so you're not a breeder. But here's the deal in this, and this is where I see it at. Think about this in business, right? If I'm in business, am I going to take advice from somebody and go, hey, you know what? Let me start from scratch and not learn from anybody's mistakes.
Right.
There's a difference between being a buyer and then being an educated buyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Big difference.
For example, you've heard of Bayou Bullies, right?
Yeah. Is it?
They have Gucci.
Yes, yes.
So it's really shredded up, ripped up female, right?
Mhm.
And so Logan, we're actually going to go pick up a dog from him. And I don't usually go out and pick up dogs and stuff, but this dog right here, I'm getting behind.
He's good.
We're used to
Sit
it.
down.
And
Bad dog.
I specifically looked at this line. I watched her litters. I watched her offspring grow up. I seen her last litter that came off a dog named Batman, right? So that was off Unleashed Kennels up in Michigan, right? Well, there's another dog that he produced named Hitman, right? So I watched the litter, and we went all in, and we got the first pick male that's coming out of that litter, and it's a very unique male. We're very excited about it, but we went all in on. I actually studied the history, watched the down line. This is what I'm specifically looking for, because I wanted to make sure that Logan, if he got something in his hands, it was going to be something extraordinary, right? But if he would have went out and just bought something off of just anybody, he wouldn't known the difference. You know what I mean? So
you can't skimp on quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, if I'm gonna go out and purchase a French Bulldog, or if, for example, you're purchasing a Doberman. Like, you have to know what you're looking for, man, if you're going to get involved in something like new dog ownership.
Yeah.
It's like dating.
Well, it's also like, I used to
No,
think
that's why I'm
just because
single.
it was expensive and health tested, it would serve my purposes. But like, for example, working line versus show line. I first got a show line because I was just like, oh, it's expensive and health tested, and it's an aggressive breed, so it should be fine. But no, like, it wasn't bred for the temperament I was looking for, which is why I'm getting the other one that is.
Yeah, and they don't even sometimes if they're both health tested, that doesn't mean that every puppy in the litter is going to come out. I mean, the chances are better than if you're breeding a dog that is obviously like fucked up or whatever. But yeah,
I don't know. Why did you go with XL bullies out of all the different bully phenotypes and
well,
trends?
I actually started I liked pit bulls because of their bad reputation and all that, and so then I saw I went overseas. I played volleyball. I had some rescues at home, and I came back, and it was just like I saw Marvel online, and I just had to have him. I don't know what it was. I didn't have the money to spend on a dog, but I didn't really care what I had to do to get it. And I had a.
Why'd you look at Sabrina when you said that?
I'll get it one way or another.
Oh, okay.
One way or another.
Blackmail.
Bumpkin, eh?
So,
Sorry.
you're in the Marvels. Like, you take photos. You're always like this redheaded Wonder Woman.
Do what?
You, I can see you in these outfits. You're a Wonder Woman. And you have like these.
Yeah, there's
chains and
aesthetic
stuff.
going
I
on.
did that, so I know
Are you in a Marvel or something?
Oh well, I mean,
Ties in with the name, right?
yeah, I got into it because we had Harold.
Pretty hairy.
God, he's out of control.
I see you different now. I'm just kidding.
He is a bitch. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's why I don't have a boyfriend, because I just get to yell at him all day.
go.
So
Good practice.
Yeah. So like, I wasn't that much into like Marvel comics and stuff, but I had Hero first. I produced Hero, and then I saw Marvel and got Marvel, and so now we kind of, I don't know. I wanted to, like, with the dogs, my goal is to breed dogs that can champ in UKC and ABKC. Like, that's my goal for the dogs. I'm not doing the popular thing. Like, we've never done the popular thing. We've always done the unpopular thing, because eventually everybody's going to have the same dogs, the same bloodlines, and the same pedigrees. And then you're going to be like, well, what's the difference between paying $7,000 for this dog and $15,000 from this dog when they have the exact same pedigree anyway? So, like, we've done the unpopular thing, because eventually I want to have dogs with a pedigree that not everybody has.
Yeah.
But my goal isn't to sell to breeders either.
Yeah.
We're selling like badass pets, and I'm completely fine with that. Because my goal is to produce dogs that can champ in ABKC and UKC. I won't even go into what ABKC likes and what UKC likes, because that's like a whole other.
Well, there's another
debate.
thing too, as far as just like, there's a lot of popular dogs out there that don't show that wouldn't even stand a chance in the ABKC show ring, right?
Oh yeah, but their owner's like, man, this is fire. I'm not even taking him into the show because it ain't even fair.
That's
and
what
I'm
they sound like.
That's what they sound like. That's what
whatever.
most of them sound like. But yeah, and I'm like, oh, if it's not fair, then why don't you just take him in there? Why don't you just try? Oh, cause it's a waste of time. Whatever, bro.
I mean, people are gonna have their opinions.
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, politics is everywhere. I don't care what breed it is. We deal with. It's not even just in the bully. It's almost even worse in some of these other breeds because, like, for example, I won't say the breed because I don't want to expose anybody, but. For example, you can get international lions in the show ring in AKC, right? And they will flop over here, but they'll be international champions. And you can take a dog from America and go internationally, and it'll get shit on. And it's the same freaking dog produced by the same people.
But who's the handler?
Yeah. Those politics come to play as well.
But,
just saying.
And the thing is, and it's just politics anywhere. That's why I kind of got drawn to more of the sporting and working dog community. But then I found out there's just as many divas in that community as well. If not even worse.
Yeah, there's.
Why did I look at Sabrina when
I know you look right at her.
There are lots of petty dudes. Like I have never been in an industry with more petty dudes, and I was in the fashion industry.
Yeah, I always say it's worse than my sorority was. Yes. Like I had zero drama in my sorority.
Yes.
Now, do you feel like women, I guess, because you can speak from a sporting and working dog perspective, and you can from a conformation perspective, is it harder for women to get respect? I'll let you guys.
I think so. Because, like, what dude wants to get beat by a girl? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't mind.
It's a like,
yeah, but you're not everyone.
Okay.
The majority of these guys are like masculine, like betas pretending to be alphas.
Wow,
masculine.
So he's not masculine.
Not there's anything wrong with being masculine, but I'm just saying like certain people have certain mentalities.
Maybe in your world they're masculine.
I think
on the show ring not as much.
I also think a lot of, people in general, not just categorizing men, but live vicariously through their dogs.
Oh, of course.
You know,
you see that a lot.
And like their egos and like.
Really? You think there's egos in the dog community?
Oh, I mean, you're pretty much living off the accolades that you earn. You know, brings the head up for most. Yeah.
So
Sit down.
You play sports. What sports do you play?
Right now I just do sand volleyball.
But you grew up playing.
I played basketball, volleyball, and I high jumped in college.
Yeah.
And
Where'd you go to college at?
University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you major in?
Health and exercise science, which I'm doing nothing with, and I only did it because I had to pick a degree, and I didn't really care about school. Like, I feel horrible saying that. And
no, that's another whole other topic about school.
Yeah. And I picked the sport that was easiest because I'm a half-ass, apparently.
Someone get Logan in here.
Logan's a half-ass too.
No, he just loves to cut corners a lot.
Oh, I don't cut corners, but I mean, yeah, I do what's easier.
Well, I think that's
without cutting corners.
I think that's a normal trait, though, right? We all try to find the easy route, and we grow when we are most uncomfortable. I used to do track too, and I knew Arkansas was always a big, like University of Arkansas was massively impressive in track and field for sure. I think they won multiple national championships, which you wouldn't think Arkansas would be one of the. I guess
they got a lot of land to run around.
No, they're seriously good. Like they were really good in track and field for sure. For sure, the Razorbacks. I don't know how they are now, but
me neither. I didn't really care. I mean, I feel bad for saying that, but.
So sand volleyball, you play professionally? Is that?
I mean, it's considered professional, but you can't like. Even the pros out in California, like they can't make a living playing just volleyball.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's your occupation, if you don't mind us asking? Or what are you doing now? What's your career goal, or what are you doing for your career?
I was going to try to make up something really funny, but I'm not that quick today. So
pizza lover.
Yeah.
On every bio.
Photography or, like.
No, actually, so I do the dog thing. And
you're a model, right?
Yeah, but I don't claim that because that's not every day. You know what I mean? And then people see me in person, they're like, if she can do it, I can do it.
What?
But I do look really good with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I.
Don't we all?
I still can't.
So I do photography, just like equine photography, which is crazy. I didn't even think there was a market for it. And then my sister started her own business, and she's like, "Oh, you take good pictures. Do you want to be my photographer?" And so now I work for her. I was actually at a photo shoot for horses before I came here.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horses is a big business. Big business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've taken pictures of some really expensive horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does she do?
My sister? Yeah. She does social media. So we live in horse country. That's what's called up there, horse country. And there's like huge ranches all over, and she just kind of runs their pages because they're like old ranchers, and they're like, I just need a cell phone picture. We can sell it. That's my rancher voice. And so she's like, well, at this day and age, we're like in the social media thing, and you're not going to sell as much for what you want if you're not using social media, which brings me all the way back to photography, right? And you have to have good pictures. Cell phone pictures aren't going to work. Like, if you're buying something in a catalog, do you think they're using cell phone pictures? No. Aren't they making it look the best that they can possibly make it look?
iPhone.
Yes.
Why are you looking at Gomi when you say
that? What?
So earlier you said that you didn't originally intend to become a breeder, right?
Right.
So what kind of ended up changing your mind?
Yeah.
Because I loved the dog that I had, but he wasn't perfect. He had like some flaws like that weren't what the standard is, I guess. Like he was a little more terrier. He was 70 pounds and he was considered an XL because of his height. Some people are like, oh, he's an XL because he's 200 pounds. I'm like, okay, well, that's not how the standard works. But he was XL height, but he had fine bone and he had like a longer muzzle, but he was like the best dog ever. He was crazy. And I did like dog diving and all, like I did everything with that dog. That was Marvel. And I wanted to create Marvel in like something that everybody liked, like that was that was better fit for the standard. And so that's why I started breeding. And like I'm still trying to get that. And I don't think that my dogs are perfect. Like I love them and we're getting perfect with every breeding that we do, or we're getting better with every breeding that we do. But I'm not stupid. Like I know what flaws my dogs have. I'm not like, oh, I got the best dogs out here, you know? So.
And how often does that get in the way? Like for some breeders, it's kind of like, since it's like their babies, you know how some people see
it's
perfection.
not so much about them it's being their babies. It's a lot about money. It's a money driven.
Oh, like they're trying to sell
their
oversell their dog.
You can tell with her that it's she's not driven. She's more of a hobbyist, that she's trying to create a dog that she wants to create,
right?
Compared to somebody who's just money hungry that'll sell you a dog that's not health tested, that's flawed out.
Merle.
And if you're uneducated, they're going to take advantage of you.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. People jump in the market when they see something and they want to.
Right.
They're doing it for the wrong reason.
Kind of like with Miles after the John Wick movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that too.
And that's different too. But like with the dogs, or with these dogs, like the standard is still all over the place. You know, like
is there a standard?
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you.
What's the standard for the XL?
Yeah, like height and weight.
Like,
they gotta be fire, bro.
They gotta be fire. They gotta have tons of disqualifications.
Gotta get ripped.
They've gotta be actually people don't care about. They only care about the number on the scale. That's why everybody's lying.
So it could be fat, could be muscle, and they don't care.
Yeah.
How many music videos were they in?
The better. Yeah. Like how many disqualifications did they have? And they're like, oh, it's rare. And I'm like, oh, that's weird that it's rare to you, because to the standard, it's a disqualification and you will get booed out of the ring with that. But none of my business.
Yeah.
How are the ABKC shows going right now as far as like, are they growing? Is ABKC growing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think ABKC is like,
is that
on
like
top of their game right now?
The UFC or the NFL of bully breeds, or because I know there's a shit ton. There was an era where there's a shit ton of registries coming out.
Oh, there still are. Like I don't even know what they mean. To me, UKC and ABKC are the only ones that matter because they were the first. UKC was the first.
Do they recognize XL?
Yeah.
UKC?
Well, no. They just recognize the bully. They don't have. So like he's a UKC champion, and he'll show against, in the bully class, like everything from like this tall to like 25 inches tall. And they might have changed that now, but they don't really have they don't have classifications.
I was thinking, people who jump into this with the right intent, right? Like into breeding or anything like that. Is the relationship with your dogs, I mean, what is the relationship dynamic like with your dogs versus just like a normal owner or like everyday dog owner? Like, do you treat them different?
Varies.
I'm just curious though, like even just on her end versus like universally speaking.
Well, like when we sell puppies, it says in our contract that you have to discipline your dog like I think people have mixed views on them, that like the fur moms and stuff. They're like, you shouldn't discipline them. Like, let them do whatever they want. Jump on the couch, jump on your stuff, jump on people. But I'm like, these dogs already have a bad reputation just by walking down the street. If there's a fight that breaks out over there and your dog is in the area, everybody's going to say, oh, her dog did it because of what he looks like or what he is. So I always say, like, you need to make sure that your dog is going to be the best behaved dog there. You know, that doesn't mean you don't love him. Like, you love your kids, but you spank your kids. You know, you make your kids behave. I don't know. I don't have kids. Yeah. It's probably a good thing. But
you need to set boundaries.
I don't think I answered your question at all.
No, I mean, that answers some of it, because you do have an expectation of, like, whoever purchases a dog, what you want for it, or how. Okay, but I was saying, even the fact of, like, going through the process, like, if you're breeding a dog and look like somebody coming in to make money, they're gonna treat it as a cash crop. They're not gonna have emotion towards it.
Well, her target client is a pet home.
Yes.
You know, so which.
Yeah, but
properly bred XL bullies make great pets.
Yes, but even then, people try to be like I'll see 2 years later, oh, so and so is open for stud, and I'm like, wait, 14th pick?
Yeah.
That I sold you on a pet contract is open. Like, why does he still have balls? Like, what? So, I mean, yeah, they see you making money and they think that anybody can just go do it, and I'm like, that's why the dogs are in the shelters, because everybody thinks they can make money and then they can't. And then they end up just having to get rid of them. And then all of that shit comes back on the people who are doing it responsibly. And I'm like, you will never see one of mine in the shelter. So I don't know why you're coming at me like that. If you're all about rescue, then this is going to be controversial, isn't it? Then go to the shelter. Okay.
Okay. So a moment ago, we were talking about reputation. So that just reminded me, in the beginning of this, you were saying that, like, I just love the way that you, like, rebranded. Like, someone said, oh, it's a pit bull, and they didn't want to pet it and they were scared. And then you called it an Incredibull and suddenly they wanted to pet it. It just, like, always amazes me, like, the marketing, like, behind something. You know what I mean? Like, a word can, like, change someone's perception, like, so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. And I'm like, you hated him before because of what he looks like, but now that I call him something different, now you love him, and you're going to post him all over your Instagram and give him a shout out. And I'm just like, oh, he's a pit bull now.
Non-GMO. Like, you raise non-GMO dogs.
Non-GMO water.
Genetically modified dogs.
Yeah. People are crazy.
Do you think the stigma is ever going to go away? Pit bulls, because everybody calls everything. Now, for example, you had brought up what's his name? The Hulk. And do you think that helped the reputation of pit bulls or hurt the reputation of pit bulls? Because that's a big controversy for those who don't know. Like, do you think he knows? Here's the deal, man. Like, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I'm right down the middle as far as person who has great marketing. Obviously does great marketing.
Hello. Yes, that's what I say. I don't know Marlon personally. I didn't work with Marlon personally. I used one of his sons because I wanted to get what I wanted to get, and it was controversial, right, in the bully world. But since I'm not breeding for the bully world, I used Hulk like as a marketing for people who love the dogs. You know, like the fans. The fans love him. The breeders don't. And the breeders don't love him because of what he's done with the Hulk's name. He has a blue check mark.
Do you think it's something that you think it's because of the money, or do you feel like they really feel it hurts the reputation?
No, they don't care about the reputation. Are you kidding me? They're jealous that they didn't do it first. Yeah. Because if any one of those people that are hating on Marlon and the Hulk could snap their fingers and have what he has because of it,
they would do it.
They would. Yeah. They're just haters. Period.
Well, that's the thing in the breeding community too, right? Rather than just like proving your own dog's lines, you try to bash like a competitor.
Exactly. Like, just stay focused. And that's what I have trouble doing too. Cause like, I stay focused on what I'm doing. But as soon as somebody talks about my dogs or my partners, then I'm in there like a pit bull. Ready to yeah.
And the thing is that the haters are the ones who are actually helping. They're actually pushing it more forward than the fans. And we've talked about this plenty of times, because social media algorithms don't base stuff off emotions. They base stuff off entertainment. So if something's getting talked about, it's going to get pushed out in the forefront more. So they think you have these haters that are so narcissistic, right? And so ego driven to the point where they're like, my opinion is so important that I need to tell you my freaking opinion and say about it that they can influence people. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, why do you care? Like, why can't you just keep scrolling if you don't like it?
Right. Like, why
Why
are you
is
even
that
putting
so
your
hard?
time and I don't know. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh.
I at this point don't want to
just
understand
practice it. Just scroll
You
up.
want to understand
I don't
it.
want to understand
Yes, you
it
do.
because it's free promo. At this point, it's just promo.
Dude,
like
they see me go crazy over just the XDOG vest shit for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I hate haters. I hate them. Like
With
just
all
my
your heart.
yeah, huh?
With all your heart.
With every fiber of my being, I hate them. Like, do you know how good you could be at whatever it is that you're doing?
Yeah.
If you would just focus on your own shit and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Like, I hate them.
Do you feel like social media is conditioning people to be haters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not even gonna meet up with me. Like, you know, lots of people hate me. I don't know why.
Really?
My personality's
Yeah.
amazing, obviously. But yeah, lots of people hate me, and they're not gonna say anything to me in person. They will not say anything
I
to
course
me
not.
in person.
That's the thing that I hate is that fake handshake. That fake.
No, that's exactly what it's
It's
doing
the fake
though.
handshake shit, man.
Yeah.
It's like, let me talk shit behind your back, but then when I see you,
I'll
like,
run
hey,
from
what's
you.
up? What's going on?
But it's even just
Will
period,
you
just
spank him for me?
just being
Thank you.
social. You know what I mean? Like it's changed the way just being social. Period. Like a lot of people feel brave behind their phone or the keyboard because it's not even just like on hate. It can be just meeting people today.
Oh my god!
People don't know how to introduce themselves. You know what I mean? It's
I
changed
had
a
a
lot.
dude tell me that he was gonna spit on me when he saw me.
And then he bought you a
Jesus.
drink when he saw you.
No, I never saw him, but I was like, do it.
Well, that's
you
the
better
thing.
do it.
Sounds like the one.
It's one of those things where,
Gross.
yeah, these keyboard warriors are insane, especially when they're like 50 years old. Like, really, like, what are you gonna do to me?
No, I mean, I wish he would. I wish he would spit on me when he sees me. But it was because he was like getting into it with me, right? And then all I did was call him a bitch, and he got
There's-
real mad about that. And I'm like, well, stop acting
You
like
hurt his
one.
ego.
Is it
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. Like, bitch can offend a man or can actually compliment a man depending on what you're interested in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get in your lap now.
That's
Harold, can you just behave? Thank you.
All right, so we kind of talked about some dog stuff, right? Let's talk about some current events. So the first one, like something that's on like pretty much everywhere where I go now, Facebook, Instagram, Google, is the coronavirus. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Like, I feel bad for saying that I don't care about it, but I just don't really care about it.
No, I
Like,
feel
if
you.
I get it and die, it's my time to go.
I went and
Bye.
bought like fucking 14 pallets of toilet paper, and now I have 10 years supply of toilet paper.
Oh, so
Oh, you're one of
the-
those guys.
Yeah, that's
No.
what I was going to say.
No,
So you're the reason everybody
Yeah.
else has to wipe with
Their
paper
hands.
towels.
Is that really
Yeah.
a thing? Because literally, I went to Walmart. There's a shit ton of toilet paper. I went to Kroger's. There's a shit ton of toilet paper. Where are they buying all this toilet paper from? And why are people?
Costco.
And people are really like going to Costco, buying toilet paper, and
Oh, it's bad, dude. My friend in Chicago, he sent me some pictures like in the aisles and like the disinfectant wipes are all gone. Like even up there, it's really bad. Like a lot of things are gone. You have no access to things right now.
Oh, my God. Can
Everybody's
you
just
believe
going
those
nuts.
people? Like, save yourself and let everybody else die, you assholes.
Right. And I mean, like, you know how you said, like, you don't really care. I mean, I feel you because it's like, if you get it, you get it. Like, what are we going to do to stop? Are we just going to stop everyday life, like what we're doing and just like
Exactly.
board ourselves up at home? Like,
I think a lot of people don't want to admit that they usually don't care until it affects them.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it affects them, you can handle it the way you're saying, where it's like, if it's my time, it's my
Mm-hmm.
time. And then there's some people who panic and then,
yeah.
they kill
Yeah.
themselves from depression over the
What?
actual disease.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
no, you're not. You're serious.
That was a dark joke. That's all that was.
My favorite.
I like me too. I like dark jokes. Okay.
No wonder we meshed
Bad
up.
humor. I know, exactly.
So, how long do you think this epidemic is going to go on? Because it's making the news and everything that's entertaining.
Easy, you got this.
I got some numbers right here. So actual cases, we're at 122,289 cases
reported here in the U.S.
worldwide.
All right.
4,389 deaths and recovered 67,009. So
Now, you talked about like killing yourself. I saw somebody actually write a post where they mentioned something where it was like, you put $3.2 billion behind the coronavirus, and then you got all these people in the military that served, and they're like dealing with mental health issues, and they're not putting no money behind it. What are your guys' perspective on that shit?
I feel like mental health is like under promoted. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's still a stigma with it. I feel like it's gotten a little bit better, and I feel like millennials are better about it. Like, someone like my age is gonna be like, oh yeah, like I have a therapy appointment at 4 tomorrow, like that's where I'll be. Whereas like somebody in the older generation might still be like, shh, like don't talk about that or something.
You know where the problem is?
No.
The awareness is great. The abuse of it can be the problem. You know, it's just kind of, even if you think of something like Medicaid, there's people out here that actually do need some help. There's some people out here disabled that need some help. But at the same time, there's people that abuse these things that make it bad for other people. So let's say mental health. I believe in it. You know, I went to CBT therapy, which I felt was really good for me. But most insurances at this point cover it. They do help. The awareness is there. But then some people will use that as an oppressor.
What do you think about nootropics?
I think anything natural and holistic that helps, hell yeah. Like nootropics, was it mushroom, anything like that? Yeah, and something that uplifts the mind.
You live on a
I've
farm.
never heard of any of this, though.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to do mushrooms?
No, I mean, no. Like, maybe I should be on drugs, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, then you're probably mentally in a good place. You're in a good place mentally.
You know?
Well, you've heard of CBD, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Do you even have a fucking thought?
I have a lot of thoughts, but none about CBD.
THC.
So.
All right, so
No, I don't know anything about it. I know that lots of my friends do the things, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge. Whatever you're doing with your free time doesn't affect what happens to me when I die. So maybe I should care.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're not like walking around with like a needle hanging out of their arm or something, because that's not a good look for me.
You look right at me when you said that. I'm just kidding. I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit.
Yeah, he's
judging.
I can't play. People would take me serious. I
Oh
keep a serious
God,
face.
people are gonna hate me after this.
As long as it's just a little bit of methamphetamine, not too much, right?
Yeah, a little
I don't
meth
really
is
do
fine.
coke. I just like the way it smells.
Yeah,
right,
you
so
know what? It's fine.
The coronavirus, we talked about that.
But as far as the coronavirus, it's actually caused cancellation and postponing events like South by
Sporting
Southwest.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Houston
South by-
Rodeo.
Beach volleyball.
Hollywood movies.
No. No.
Notably game shows.
Nobody cares about
really?
beach volleyball.
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
Bullshit.
Episodes will stop filming, until further notice because of it.
Crazy. Or like, well,
I need my Wheel of Fortune.
Friday the 13th is coming up. Like tattoo parlors typically do like that $13 tattoo thing, and like
Okay,
I know
I'm
that
out
I
on
know
that.
I know that people are not going to be doing that, or businesses aren't going to be doing that now. Or like there's this one girl that I follow who is a Adobe owner and a tattoo artist, and she said that because of what's going on, that she's going to slow everything down for the next couple of weeks as well. And like you can't really get in. She's like, normally she would charge like a fee if you cancel your appointment, but she's waiving those fees for everyone. She's like, if you even think you're any kind of sick.
Langston, he works up there at Firewell at Houlihan's. That was a plug right there. Sorry, but he's like, the restaurants business are getting murdered right now because no one's going out to eat.
Corona's getting murdered.
Yeah.
The beer.
I saw a text going around from like a Chinese restaurant where they
What?
were like checking in with frequent customers, just letting you know, like just because it's Chinese food like, doesn't mean that like we have the coronavirus.
I can't with people.
The beer thing, yeah.
Well, you can get cheap flights now too, right?
Yeah. I heard, I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast last night,
Did you?
and he was talking
You're
to an expert on this situation.
An expert. Did
Yeah,
they have
he's
credentials?
legitimate. He's legit. He's legit.
Legit credentials.
Legit.
Okay.
Oh.
Older.
Huh.
It means
Dark,
that means
light
it's true.
hair.
Yeah. It wasn't salt and pepper. It was all
It was
gray.
white. I watched
Full
it.
gray. Eyebrows.
That's a lot of
All of
wisdom
it.
there.
Testicle
Exactly.
hair.
Yeah.
Even if he's
The
lying,
whiter,
it's the truth.
the wiser.
So basically, he said it's something that we should be worrying about because it's the beginning stages, and he's projecting that versus the flu season, we're looking at 460,000 deaths
Are you fucking
when
kidding?
it rises to its full potential.
It affects mostly older people though, right? Or people with weaker immune systems.
They're mostly the ones dying.
He said that's right now that looks like it's an old people's thing, but it's gonna affect everybody.
My pops mentioned when we were talking about it when he came down, was talking about how the bird flu like took out like hundreds of thousands of people back in like the early 1900s or some shit.
Okay, but didn't we just have like Ebola too, and that was
Yeah.
supposedly supposed to kill everybody, and it killed one person? They're like, well, that's it. We're done.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna feel awful if like you guys have to make like a week after post like, well, she died, but I don't know.
Y'all seen the movie Outbreak?
Is it about monkeys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about the Ebola and stuff like that. I was just curious about that. Like, I remember that movie happened, and then years later, Ebola breaks out, and then shit.
Years? Like
Yeah.
20 years.
Was it like 20 years?
Yeah.
Decades.
Yeah. We
yeah.
are old as fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll kill myself.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Where's that Kool-Aid at from the Nicole podcast?
Dang, you guys do have fun in here, don't you?
Yeah.
You do
That's
too.
why we have haters.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, I opened it myself. I know what's in there.
We have lovers.
Right.
Do you though?
Do I?
I didn't know you were into the Kool-Aid.
Oh. Now you know.
Yeah.
But-
Okay.
all right. So what's next?
Well, speaking on health and stuff, so there's obviously been a lot of studies done on sleep, but most recently it's rolling about like 7 to 8 hours is like the ideal amount of sleep, and that if you get any more or less than that, it's not really beneficial to your health. I know you have thoughts on this, AZ.
Well-
okay, hold on a second. How much is beneficial?
7 to 8 is good, but less than that, it's not good for you, and more than that, it's not good for you.
So one's not good. 1 hour.
No.
Well,
Apparently not.
I wanted to like emphasize this more, or like put it in the scope of being an entrepreneur or a business owner or somebody who's doing, you're on your shit. Do y'all feel like sleep holds a lot of value in what y'all do?
I feel like you have to create the most time for yourself that you can. So like, what's something I can cut out? Sleep. But I mean, do I notice like a change in myself and like the things that are associated with lack of sleep? Sure. But you got to weigh like what's more important. Are you trying to get that time out of your day? Or are you trying to keep your health up? I
Do
don't
you
know.
play better volleyball? Do you
Well,
perform better with 8 hours of
I
sleep or
was
6
going to
hours?
say, I think that 7 hours is important for everybody around me, because if I get less than that, everybody's going to have to deal with me. I'm going to have some kind of anger about something. I'm going to be bitching at like I'm just unpleasant.
Sorry, Harry.
How do you feel, Stan?
Especially Harry.
Me? I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I used to be like grind. And the reality is that I wasn't managing my time, because there's plenty of time in the day to get the shit done that I need to get done.
Okay.
But you know how I felt, man. I fucking caught the shingles because I didn't get enough sleep for about
I
3
seen
months
it.
straight, so it affected my immune system.
I seen them.
Maybe it was the Kool-Aid that gave you the
been,
shingles.
It could have been, man, but I'm too young to supposedly get that shit. And, man, it just, I don't know, like we had such exponential growth and everybody else was getting fucking sick that I had to fucking grind 18 to 20 hours a day.
And according to Healthline, I got 10 facts
give us
about
the
it.
stats.
So pretty much.
Are these facts or these
Well,
They're credentialed.
hypothetically speaking facts?
Healthline, I don't know if they're fake news or not.
Everything on the internet is true.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep. So 1, poor sleep is linked to higher body weight.
I agree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I'm skinnier.
You do?
I'm skinnier when I get.
Well, it depends. Are you on a
More sleep.
cocaine binge?
What are you doing while you're awake,
2, good sleepers tend to eat fewer calories.
Yeah, because I feel like when you don't get enough sleep, you need more energy, and you try to turn to food for the energy.
3, good sleep can improve concentration and productivity. I feel like we all.
Yeah,
feel
I
that.
feel like I
that's
get
the
brain
only one
fog when I
that's
don't
true,
sleep
yeah.
enough.
4, good sleep can maximize athletic performance.
Katie.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because I sucked yesterday.
But then too much sleep, they say, like some fighters get too much sleep, it can make you lethargic. So maybe that's why
I
they
believe
say-
that.
yeah, but that's like 12 hours. Who has time for that?
Why'd you look at Gomi? He sleeps a lot.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not
Joey
here
goes
to
to
judge.
bed at 9 and wakes up at
9.
10.
Oh,
normal.
that's nice sometimes.
5, poor sleepers have a greater risk of heart disease and stroke. We don't know.
How do we even monitor that? Like, how do they measure that?
Longitudinal studies, maybe? I don't know.
They got to pick
Yeah, but how do
something
you
to
measure
blame.
someone's daily sleep habits amongst their entire lifespan? It's on the
Gotta ask
internet,
those people with the more certifications than we have.
People who don't sleep get corona? No, I didn't say that. 6, sleep affects glucose metabolism and type 2 diabetes risk. So you're higher at risk to get diabetes or type 2 diabetes.
So who said 7 hours is the exact? Is this Gomi's thing?
No, it's something we were reading into, and that's the hour recommendation. It's 7 hours plus. But
Well, women actually need
7
more
hours
and at
plus?
least 20 hours more because our
don't
brain...
generalize this study.
That's what it said.
Wait,
I
'cause
looked
we
it up.
Use our brain?
Yeah,
Is that why?
exactly. Because
Yeah.
we're like, basically we're using it more. And I
That
saw a
makes-
meme that was like, we're too busy overthinking and jumping to conclusions.
And we're
That's
too.
also true. That is also.
Well, we got to
true.
wake up earlier and pay the bills, okay?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
They
I'm
also
kidding.
talked about people, certain people have different sleeping patterns and time.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who gets 7 hours, like for example, some people are up later at night and are more efficient working later at night, where some people are morning people and some people are more, like for example, Andy doesn't like to wake up until like 8 or 9. You know what I mean? Where I usually wake around 5 or 6.
I used to do that night shift stuff, and I know that my body felt a lot different when I was like that. Like, I feel this way because the sun provides a lot of natural nutrients.
I mean, circadian rhythms tie into that.
I don't know.
I always say that I'm solar powered. Yeah, if the sun comes up, then I'm up. But I feel like everybody should do what works for them.
True.
Can't generalize.
Until you start turning
needs
pale.
to do the same thing.
All cookie cutter approach, one size fits all.
That's the world I want to live in.
Cookie cutter.
Pleasantville, black and white picket fences, 2.5 dogs.
No, because your dogs would chew up your fences. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Dude, I have one that's doing that right now.
Oh, God.
I have to replace it.
It's just fucking crazy, man. Like this, it seems like we're now being conditioned. We live in this world where it's like if we don't agree on something, then we have to hate each other. Do you feel that way? Like, I don't agree with you, so I don't like your view, so
Right. No,
like
that's stupid. Like even being business partners, you're gonna disagree on things, but that's why like we all have a different thing that we bring to the table.
Yes.
And that's why we work. So of course we're gonna disagree on things, but I don't
That's
know.
the
I'm not
beauty
like,
about
oh,
it.
go fuck yourself. You don't think the way I think. Like most people don't. So
I mean, I have friends with different opinions, and I mean, there's things we agree on and like things we do together that like correlate, but things that don't, and just you do your own thing.
Or
Exactly.
the goal
we
at
have to hate
hand
you.
has to be the same. It's like if you're going to run a business and run a successful business, y'all need differences of opinion because the end result is let's be successful. It's the same thing like, I do music, and back then we used to be in like sessions, like songwriting sessions. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to make a good song. But everybody has a difference of opinion to get there. But eventually we always end up with one song at the end. And to me, it's like, all these fights and arguments, all that made this product. And now we all love it.
Well, they say even like arguing is like healthy for couples because if you don't like speak on things, I know. It's like back in my psych degree. But like, because you kind of like clear the air on things, and then if you're able to like get past that, then you're like a stronger bond because you're honest with each other.
But what if you're not able to?
So you should always cheat on each other at the beginning.
then you get dumb.
Then you be
I did
stronger.
not promote cheating. I'm just saying like dumb arguments. I don't know. Like
I like it. I feel like you almost take me serious.
I mean, I don't know you.
that's
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
true.
She
That's
doesn't know your
true.
personality.
You're promoting the Kool-Aid. You're promoting cheating on your spouse if you don't agree.
I like to party.
So
Like,
I'm
that's
just,
not what I said.
I wear those shirts with the
People always
tuxedo.
twisting my words.
I
You
wear the
sleep
shirts with
too
the
much?
tuxedo.
I like
on
the
it.
I like the shirts
I
with the
sleep a
hairy
lot.
chest.
No, I don't. I sleep like 4 hours.
that was him that sleeps a lot.
Yeah, he sleeps
Oh,
a lot.
okay.
He actually
So
gets
you
mad
think
at
they
me.
look alike? Is it because they're both?
Listen.
Why does he get
I'm
mad at
just
you?
playing. I know,
Huh?
I know.
Why does Gomi get mad at you?
Oh, because he says, well, I always argue with him when he's telling me, you need like 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep. And I'm like, dude, like,
How does his
I'm
voice
up in
go again?
4. You need like, the shit's fire. Sleep is fire, bro.
He does not talk like that.
Nah, like, he says that I need more hours. And I just say, I can't. Like, physically, I can't.
So
I try.
technically, based on her theory, it's good for you guys to argue.
Maybe. I mean,
Aw.
I mean, if it's constructive, don't bash each other, but you can both like point out your viewpoints, discuss it. and
I'm
then
for
get back to it.
bashing. If you can't get your point across,
I'm
just
for
bash it in
conflict.
there.
Like I don't want there to be conflict, but I hate when someone won't address it. Like let's just fucking talk about it and like
Yeah.
be done with it because
You-
I won't let it go until there's a discussion.
Oh yeah, I won't let
I'll
it go
harbor
until
that
I get
shit.
my point across.
Exactly.
And
you
guys
don't need to
are
agree,
so
but you need to fucking
dumb
listen.
and simple-minded that
she
No
looked
offense.
right at me. She looked. That was real.
And I
we
looked
have her
at
right
you.
here every week.
I looked at you because she was looking at you.
I was just looking at her.
I was just trying to look at all the guys in the
Okay.
room so that
Sorry.
nobody felt left out.
I'm a good man in a relationship. I will say
I
that.
believe that.
But
I feel
you
like
will
I would
cheat
believe that.
if you
No,
disagree,
I've never
'cause you
cheated.
said that.
I've never cheated. I have 2 older sisters and my mom. They
Wait,
raised
we're
me.
getting
He
away from what
cried
Katie
when
was
he
saying.
first
Oh.
had sex.
I cried when the Terminator melted.
Oh,
That's just.
I didn't even watch
that's
that.
really sad.
What were you saying?
The
She was
Terminator.
saying
Oh.
something.
What was I saying?
What were you saying?
We were bashing men together.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying was, men are such simple-minded creatures that sometimes you
So
have
they need
to
less sleep.
bash it. I'm just looking at you because I already looked over here, so now I gotta look over here.
Okay.
Are we?
You can look at me. It's
Oh, okay.
neutral.
I'll just talk to you. Yeah. Are you neutral?
Well, I'm saying neutral in terms of like I'm not a man.
Go back to simple-minded.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Oh yeah,
binary.
yeah. So guys are like so simple-minded that you have to almost bash it in there.
You
And
gotta break it down
that
to
could
them
be-
I'm gonna have to jump in and just disagree
Uh-huh.
because you're a dude.
it's no. I'm gonna say this. It's probably the men you're dealing with. It's probably the men
Yeah,
that
'cause
y'all
I'm-
choose to be around.
According to
That's just how I feel.
all my past, I'm like really complicated.
Wait, so who all in here is in a relationship?
Not me.
Just-
One person?
No one on the
One
But
guy.
I will
Well,
say,
hey, now-
every relationship I was in lasted more than 3 years. It was 5 years in a row. 2 relationships,
Well,
5 years.
I just heard a topic.
You look good for 60.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just heard a topic based on like a lot of people like now that like there's less people getting married now because
I mean,
People
biggest
have-
cause of divorce is marriage.
Yeah,
isn't that the number
That's
one leading cause of
nuts.
divorce?
It's because no one wants to sign the prenuptials.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody's big on
We
those
need
right
you to
now.
sign that.
I literally had this talk on the way here with a friend who was like, I don't know what to say because I've never been married and my married friend is going through stuff. And I was just like, just be thankful that it's not you.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, everybody wants to get married and then
So
they all get divorced.
I went to school for psychology and MFT
We
actually.
heard you the first 6 times.
So I'm just saying.
We
I'm
get
just-
it. You're smart.
I want to hear
I'm
it
not
again.
saying that.
This is for me.
What was my point? She hasn't ever heard it before.
Okay,
Y'all ruined my point.
Marriage, divorce.
Oh,
Divorces.
no. Okay, I remember that they said so. Like, I wasn't obviously. I've never been married, right? And so, like, they were saying that you're gonna have
Obviously.
clients that are gonna like weigh in because you're younger and you're like trying to like fix their relationships, but you've never been married, so they're gonna be like, like people.
You don't believe it's because like people have instant access. For example, let's just say 2 people are dating and you go, well, I don't agree with you, so now I'm just gonna go to what's his name or what's her name because they agree with me. And
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, then go on, get.
Then you
Yeah.
must not like the
no, I'm
person
not
enough.
saying they speak it out loud. They're just like, oh, okay, well, fuck
Well,
it. If
people
you ain't gonna
choose-
believe, if you don't believe what I say, then I'm just gonna go call what's his name and
Then don't be in a
People-
relationship
yeah,
or married.
People will choose like the path of like least resistance or something. For me, like I guess it's how much I like the person that I like. Am I willing to work it out or like discuss it or move past it?
I
Whereas-
don't think any of us here though can really talk about what we would do because we are all
all of us are all single.
say well, and we all say exactly what we're thinking. That's why we're here. You know what I mean?
and not
So,
married.
No, I mean that's why we're here talking in this
Yeah.
microphone thing. But like, because we say it's entertaining to just say what you think. Well, everybody doesn't think that it's funny when you
Right.
just say what you think, and
Mhm.
then feelings
everybody's
get hurt.
offended. Like I'm offended that everybody is offended about being offended.
I'm not. I don't care.
No,
Yeah, I
I'm just
give a
saying that's
fuck.
how social media is. You
No, for sure.
You gotta fucking walk on eggshells, and then the people who don't walk on eggshells and actually say eggshell, and actually anybody who says what they actually, I guess, feel on their mind, like people get so offended. Like you can't even like put a meme up without getting kickback or something that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why people don't say negative things on my page anymore, though, is because like I will call them out. So I have trained everybody on my like Facebook page at least to not say anything because people think it's funny when I'm mean to people. And I'm not saying that that's right, but it is kind of funny sometimes. Huh?
Well, it's like fuels entertainment for them. And that's what
Yeah,
they're
and
trying,
then
they're trying to
feel
get a
like-
reaction out of you, and you give it to them.
Yeah,
just
and then
block
all
their
my
ass.
friends think it's hilarious, and then they feel stupid, and like that was the real goal here for me. Like, don't be a hater, hater. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's more like, hey, listen to me. Care about my
Well,
opinion.
people are egocentric, and right, so like they want to feel heard, and even if it's like a negative thing, they're getting attention, and they want that attention.
Yeah, like this is a totally different topic too, but like a lot of people try to hate on me because they're like, well, you can't take pictures like that and love Jesus. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Jesus didn't
There's-
come here to save the
there's a-
people living
Kobe?
right. He's
There's-
here to save me, you know?
There's a thing I saw recently, a meme that's going around the dog world, especially the working dog world, about like female handlers, and basically saying like on the left you have a female handler, she's like with
I
Adobe,
saw
with
that.
Adobe and a prong collar, and she's in like black lace, and they're like this kind of handler that like she doesn't really know what
Ugh.
she's doing, but she
Those
looks
are
good.
gross and yucky.
And then there's this handler over here that looks like a hobo, and she must be really putting in that work because she doesn't have the time to like care about her
Do
appearance.
we get to vote? I'd rather have the one on the left.
Yeah, I was like, why can't? I was like, why not both? Like, why can't she? It's like
Exactly.
the biggest thing that gets to me. Like,
How
Yeah.
about get you one that does both?
I was about to say
Right.
that, but who uses the term hobo?
that's
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
they said. They said like a homeless person.
That's offensive.
I'm offended that
Why'd I
you're
look
offended
at
by that.
I don't know. I just think people need to stop putting people in boxes.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to look good and train your dogs, why can't you do that?
Yeah, people in the bully world too, they put up like six female breeders all next to each other, like a stack off, like just found pictures on our pages, and like I was one of them, and then there was like a little dude that they put in there to be funny, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about your opinion of what I look like in a freaking I mean, I don't want to hear your opinion, basically. But, like, why do people do that?
I mean, do you feel like it's like people
hate.
have mob mentalities in the bully community as well, as far as, like, they see somebody jumping on somebody, so they're like, fuck it, let me just mob up against this person.
Yeah, like somebody else started it, so now they're going to jump in and say whatever they want to say or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, but you weren't saying that when it was just you.
Yeah.
Nah, it's the meme culture right now, man. It's everyone's trying to one up each other and be funnier than the other. Like, everybody's a fucking comedian now.
Oh my God. Well, I did laugh, though, at a comment about the guy that said he was going to spit on me. Somebody said that he was built like a bag of trail mix. That was
Never heard that.
Me neither, but it was like accurate, and I laughed so hard at that. But I still felt bad too, because like you can't help it if you're built like a bag of trail mix, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt bad, and I'm like, okay,
Getting that
I am
gym.
human. Like I feel bad for the guy, but
You should say, I like trail mix. You should just give a compliment.
oh,
you know?
I should have, but
Yeah.
I can't.
In a way,
stand
you
that
almost
guy.
have to sympathize for those people because, man, if they're investing time into that dumb shit, it's fucking crazy. There's nothing you can say to offend them that is going to make their life
Exactly.
any fucking worse.
Exactly. And that's what bothers me. That's why I probably don't partake, because I'm like,
I had to stop
they
that
don't
shit
even care.
because I'll hurt somebody's feelings. Like,
Do
really
it.
bad.
I'm here for it.
We're like the little devil. He doesn't have an angel. He just has two devils right
yeah,
now.
we're like,
do
yeah,
it.
just do it.
And I just have popcorn. I'm waiting.
And Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You're the audience.
Kool-Aid. Cyanide.
All right. Well, you want to get into our last
Yeah.
current? Okay. So Impossible Foods, they came out with that burger, right, in 2016. You want to talk to us about that?
Well, it looks like they're gonna kick off into just going into like mainstream production.
What is it?
It's a veggie burger, but like it's created to basically imitate beef as close as possible. But they're doing sausage, they're doing all this, right? They came out with the Impossible Whopper.
What makes it impossible? Why do they title it Impossible?
Almost because it's almost impossible
Because
to
it's a
replicate
lie.
meat. Yeah, I mean, I want to
Fake
get everybody's
news.
insight on this because I feel a certain way about it.
How do you feel about it?
I mean,
You like it?
no.
Oh, okay.
And
Continue.
I went vegan for 4.5 months, strict as hell. And I'm not saying I'm well qualified. What I'm saying is,
like insinuating.
no, look,
that you're well
if
qualified.
you,
I feel like you're better
Where's
than
our
us.
certifications,
Yeah.
You think
AZ?
you're better than us because you went vegan for 4.5 months?
hold on, I'm getting a text. I'm just kidding. No, so like, okay, if you're on a moral standpoint, if you're vegan because it's your way of not participating in harm to animals. Okay, cool, great for you. But if you're doing it for health purposes, I do not agree with it. One, because when you're trying to replicate a fatty food, you're not going to sacrifice the fat content or the sodium content. And now you're eating high carbohydrates, which is sugar. All that is a deadly cocktail. So you're not actually doing anything better for yourself. Is it better for the planet? According to studies that I'm looking at, yes, it is.
It's synthetic, like it's machine made.
Made in a
It's
lab.
processed. There's a lot of restaurants that were going against it, saying it was ultra processed. You got to create.
What
It's
do you
got to
think
be
the
processed.
restaurants are going against it because they make a lot of money off of real food?
Well, it was going to affect certain people. Like Chipotle was one of the ones that went after it.
There's a plug.
Shout out
I love
Chipotle.
Chipotle, and I
Me
love
too.
sugar, and I love glutens, and I love all the bad things. I'm not trying to live forever, so I don't care.
See,
I mean, I might
You're
change
for a
my
good
mind.
time, not for a long time.
Yeah, like I might change my mind when I'm like dying of old age at 37, but right now I don't care.
now it's becoming a mainstream thing though. So like Little Caesars is making sausage made from impossible meat on their pizzas.
My biggest thing about when we were looking at those were the people aware, because I'd want to know.
Are they making it more affordable,
the thing
or
is,
is it a
not-
higher price?
It's not too high. It is affordable. I mean, the Beyond brand is.
I just want to fucking grab a slice of that pizza and throw it up against the wall for whatever reason. Like I'm just so
Even
fucking
stick?
Take
mad.
that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point?
the
You
shit
got
outta here.
cheese, you got bread, you got
I
tomatoes.
think it's just all a bunch of bullshit.
I'm with that.
And it's probably poisonous, and they're just trying to kill more people by being like, oh my God, it's so much healthier. You're going to look so good now if you eat this. And then everybody's going to die.
Exactly. And to me, it's like you're trying to eat a pizza that's vegan. Like, if you're gonna go vegan, just eat some fucking vegetables. Like,
Just
why
get
the hell?
some cheese pizza.
Just get some
If
grass.
you're a
Just go
vegetarian.
outside there with the horses and just start going to town. Like, don't punish the rest of us who like meat and stuff. Okay, that sounds bad.
Really good.
Look at Sabrina.
I mean, there's nothing I can say
I'm
now
always the villain.
to
It's cool.
come back from that.
So you're not big into the vegan community?
Listen, I don't care if you're vegan. Like,
Right.
You care.
go. No, I don't. I do not. I do not care.
Just
Like,
a little bit.
I'm not gonna be vegan with you, but you can be vegan. I mean,
Yeah.
I've talked to some guy. Okay, I've talked to some guys like, that were like, oh yeah, and I don't eat meat, and I'm like, I can't. Like, how's that gonna work out if I'm over here eating a big old steak and you're eating your salad?
Do y'all agree with those memes though that talk about people who are vegan, like they can't help resist but tell you that they're vegan, or like let
Yeah.
you know, like, hey,
But I feel like
I'm
it's
vegan.
kind of like a warning, like just letting you know.
What do you
like,
What do you think about these people who are feeding their dogs, like making their dogs go vegan?
Oh God.
There's like vegan kibble out there now.
I just don't think it's. I mean, we all know it's not great for
Yeah.
the diet.
I think they also.
Do we all know?
They're
Because
not
they
built
don't.
for that.
I think they are also the ones that color their hair and put like little skirts on them and stuff, which I'm not mad about that. I dress my dogs up, but they don't have to wear it around all day.
And watch anime.
You force it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, nothing against people who watch
Oh,
anime.
anime's
I
cool.
do not.
My daughter likes
but-
it,
Yeah.
but she eats meat.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well, this has been a very, very interesting episode. We want to thank you for stopping by, taking the time out of your schedule,
Thank you.
modeling, playing sand volleyball, taking photos of expensive horses and everything. And where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KT McLovin.
You're probably going to get a lot of motherfuckers bitching at you
Yeah,
after this one.
Yeah.
that's true. Okay, so that's not really me. That's my, I just made that up. That's it's
Spam
not
account.
even. Yeah, it's like not working. So you can find me at XDOG Vest.
Oh, shit.
And send all of your nasty messages there. I will respond personally.
Why? It's because I'm the one that's gonna be the one doing the customer service. I know.
Yep. Yep.
Every day.
But again, guys, thank you for tuning into this episode. Again, we try to bring you as much value-driven content as possible, and we do it out of our own pocket. So if you could do us a solid and share this episode, leave us a good review or a comment, man, it would be greatly appreciated. And again, thank you all for tuning in. And as always, Team XDOG Strong.